Hello, how are you? Thanks for joining me today. I want to share with you um, mistakes in thinking, which is a skill I've used many times, and it really can prevent unnecessary drama, and it also can help regulate our emotions and for us to perceive things in a more accurate way. I do recommend you watch this all the way through and then re-watch it with pen and paper and pause and whatever and take notes, okay? And just before we go ahead, just remember, not many of us are taught this, just remember that you have thoughts that arise just constantly throughout the day. They just arise from, you know, family conditioning, programming from the outside world. Try to observe them more because you are not your thoughts. You're the one witnessing your thoughts. And when you're stressed or distressed, we can really attach to the thoughts as if they're 100% real and we are the thoughts. And emotions arising, you can witness with practice your emotion arising and label it. I'm feeling anger, I'm feeling betrayed, I'm feeling unworthy. They're thoughts that I'm not unworthy, but we think we are. So I'm witnessing thoughts of unworthiness. And that creates that little bit separation so you don't go on the roller coaster and you can make a different choice. So we're not denying them and bypassing them. We're acknowledging them. But we are not our thoughts because we can witness our thoughts. We are not the emotions because we can witness the emotions. We are not the body because we can witness the body. We are the ones observing and witnessing within. Yeah? Okay. So the first mistake in thinking, and this often happens when we're distressed, I think we can all relate to this one, is that all or nothing thinking. Seeing things in a black or white way of thinking. Example, I made a mistake, so the whole thing is ruined. Can you relate to that one? If you can relate to it, comment in the comment section. I think we can all relate to that one. The next one is overgeneralization. Seeing a single event as a never-ending pattern. For example, I get anxious and I will not cope. Or another one would be, oh, this always happens. And when we have those thoughts, we don't give an opportunity to do things differently. Yeah. The next one is mental filter. To pick out a single detail and dwell on it or make unwarranted conclusions. For example, if while talking to someone and they briefly look away, automatically they think I am boring. How many of us have done stuff like that? Yeah? Now, this is because some of us have different wounds from our childhood, from our adulthood, and we've come to a conclusion or a belief that we're not important or unlovable. We've started to create this core belief without realising it. So then we've got tinted glasses on, yeah? And the tinted glasses do stuff like picking out a single detail and dwelling on it, or making unwarranted conclusions. For example, if while talking to someone and they briefly look away, automatically they think I'm boring. See how that's attached to like a core belief? Because really, is there any evidence that if someone briefly looks away that they're thinking that? But when we're stressed, we can think people don't care very easily because we've got the coloured lenses on of that belief. So we need to start looking at our belief system that we've believed in that isn't true. No one's unworthy, you know? Okay. The next one is discounting the positive. Rejecting successful experiences by insisting they don't count. This maintains a negative belief that is contradicted by everyday experiences. For example, if I manage to go to the shop on one day, discount it by saying I should be able to do it anyway. So this doesn't really count. So sometimes when we've gone through a very difficult situation with depression or anxiety, there'll be a period of time where we don't leave the house much because the anxiety is just so horrific, or the post-traumatic stress is just off the charts. And we do create a positive step. We get ourselves out there to the shop. And because, we've only been able to do it once or twice recently, we discount it. So just be aware, how often do you discount? Okay? And every step counts, every single step. Next one is jumping to conclusions, making a negative interpretation of an event when there is no definite facts to support these conclusions. This includes mind reading, automatically assuming that someone is thinking negatively about you and not bothering to check out with them. For example, he thinks I can't do it. You've got no evidence for that. So check and ask instead of getting on the train. Another one is what we call fortune telling. I love this one. Anticipating that things will turn out badly and being convinced that this prediction is already established fact. For example, I will make a fool of myself and they will laugh. How often do we project forward before something's even happened? This is great to check your thinking before and after going to see someone. If you're stressed and you need to talk with someone about something or address something, it's really good to read this list that you can write out after watching this. Rewatch it. It will really help you check your thinking and change it. The next one is magnification, catastrophizing, or minimization. Exaggerating the importance of your mistakes and shrinking the importance of the good effort of some success. Yeah, we can do that when we get stuck into a negative cycle, a judgment cycle and stress cycle. We can do that very easily, can't we? Because we're very much programmed, especially in the Western world, and in all cultures really to a degree, but to hide how we're really feeling. So we're quite tough on ourselves. Another one is emotional reasoning, assuming that negative emotions necessarily reflect the way things really are. For example, I feel bad, therefore people will think I am performing badly. So there's no facts there either. The next one is should statements, motivating oneself with shoulds, musts, ought to. Example, I should be able to understand this the first time that I read it. Directing should statements at oneself generates feelings of guilt and unworthiness. Yeah, that's a real harsh one that we get into patterns of all the shoulds. We're all individuals. We're all at different levels. We often compare ourselves, and therefore I should be able to do this, I should be able to do that, because you're seeing other people around you that are able to do those things at that time. We really can't compare ourselves. We're all at different stages. We've all had different experiences, all had different upbringings, and all had different types of traumas in our lives that sometimes we don't recognise are traumas because we just get on with it, you know. The last one is personalisation, seeing oneself as the cause of some negative external event for which, in fact, you are not primarily responsible for. For example, I always bring bad luck. I made them upset. Okay, so this list, you can replay this video and pause it at times and write down the headings and the examples. And that way it's something you can check in regularly, or you can just rewatch this video and refresh your mind and check your thinking, and maybe pause it in between each one and be honest with yourself. Am I doing that at the moment? You know, what's my mistake in thinking? But don't go into, oh my goodness, I've done four of them in the list, and that means I'm really bad. No, it doesn't. The more you can become aware of the thoughts arising and see them just as thoughts, and check the thinking, and realizing that the thinking is a bit distorted because of long-term stress, anxiety, or a trauma situation, and that with practicing this regularly before and after interactions, before you address someone about something you're upset with, you'll find that you'll create less drama, because we often, when we're stressed or we're not feeling good about ourselves, we've got a certain lenses on, trauma lenses, and you can't see properly, so you assume or you project at someone and accuse them, or tell, you know, act as if they don't care about you and they haven't said that, you know. So this is a really good way of checking your thinking, becoming aware of the thoughts. And when you become aware of the thought and label it, so, oh, that's thoughts of guilt, that's thoughts of being victimized, that's thoughts of anger, that's thoughts of jealousy. Not my thoughts are jealous, the thoughts. And it helps put it out here a little bit so you can look at it and you can go, oh, I recognize that pattern. I've experienced that pattern before. I'm going to choose ... instead. Okay? You can turn this around. It does take lots of practice. It's not something you can do just once or twice and it clicks. I used to practice this quite regularly for 2 years to turn a lot of things around, okay? And still sometimes will refresh my mind with it, because sometimes when you're stressed you can't think of some of them. And it does help turn things around, and it can prevent a lot of unnecessary drama. And it's also, when people are talking to you, try and be aware if they're doing these things, the all or nothing, the mental filter, the discounting, the mind reading. Don't point it out to them. They won't necessarily be impressed with you. But I mean, if it's a close relationship, you can gently say, oh, you're actually jumping to a conclusion. Where's the evidence that I thought that or feel that or said that, So it can help you in both ways. Well, thanks for being with me today, and I really hope this helps you. And practice it regularly and watch gradually things change. Thank you very much. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.